No half-assery, just go at it full throttle. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Emma, and before we get into this video, I just wanted to check in with you guys real quick to see how we're all doing. How are you these days? What's been on your mind these days? If there's anything that you're pondering about, I hope you find the answers to them, perhaps in this video even. And with that, let's get started. So today we're going to be answering one, if not the most frequently asked question here on this channel, and that is, Emma, I am debating between two languages to study. Which one should I start with? Although I could give you a list of the most popular languages to learn in 2025 or projections for 2026, you know what? I'll present you with something even better. I'll offer you a way of logic with which you can use in every single scenario and get the answer that you need each and every time. I'm presuming that if you have either asked this question or clicked on this video because you're debating between two languages, chances are you have an active choice in what language you could study. And it is not something mandatory. It's not like you're going to school and there's like a second or third language that you have to study. This is probably something that you're voluntarily taking up yourself, and therefore you have a choice. And to determine which language it is that you would be willing to dedicate time towards, that will be worth your while in the long run, in the big picture, you have to know your why. Why do I want to learn either of these languages, right? And here are some of the most common reasons that I've seen with myself, with my friends, or when you guys share in the comments down below. One, it could be because you have family, either your own family or your significant other's family, who speaks this language, and you want to learn this language in order to either better understand your roots or to be able to connect better with the family of someone who is important to you. It could be because this language will be useful in your local job market. Maybe you got interested in the culture either through social media, literature, maybe someone you met in real life who was such a great ambassador for their country that now you want to study that language. Or maybe you saw your friends studying this language and you want to join in on the fun too, you know? Maybe there is a certain field of information that you can only access in this language and therefore you want to study it. For example, there is a lot of sewing material available in Russia that is not translated into other languages. So I've seen a lot of sewists online actually take up Russian so that they could access instructional booklets, patterns, PDFs, and whatnot. Any and all of these reasons would be valid, and you guys might even have your own reasons. So why don't you take this moment to take out a pen and a piece of paper, pause this video, and write down why you want to study either of your chosen languages. I'll be right here when you come back. In the meantime, let's do a little bit of show and tell. This is a numerized painting that I bought online. So I don't know if you can see through there, but all of these colors are numbered underneath. I just have a pack of colors, a pack of paint that corresponds to each of these numbers, and I paint on top of numbers. And yeah. Isn't it cute? So now that you have your reasons written down, you want to ask yourself, which language are you just inherently more excited to learn? Because I know that for some people, when they're choosing between languages, one of them is one that they want to study, and the other one is something that they think they should be studying. For example, let's say this person feels like, I want to learn Korean, but because I am of Italian heritage, I should be learning Italian first so that I could communicate with my family. And you want to weigh it out. Is the want or the should bigger for you? Which of these languages get you the most excited to think about or to study about? You know, because at the end of the day, your excitement is going to be the fuel that will keep you consistent when you're learning the language and help you see progress in the long run. And I also think it's okay if you can't explain why you're drawn towards a certain language, but you just know that you should be studying this language, even though you may not see any direct connection to your immediate life, or maybe you don't see any opportunities with that language in your local job market. But for whatever reason, you still feel a pull towards this language. And that might just be your intuition, your gut instinct. Maybe your mind does not have enough data at the moment to justify why this language is worth studying, but your intuition would understand the big picture in the long run. For me personally, with learning Korean, I actually don't have that many chances to use it in real life over the past 4 or 5 years, studying it on and off. But it has allowed me to start this YouTube channel. So in a way, it has served some of its purpose. I don't know, maybe one day later down the line, I meet a Korean person who I converse with and they give me a nugget of wisdom that completely changes the perspective with which I view life. And maybe that was the quantum shift that I needed. And in that sense, learning that language for how many years that I have up to that point to be able to comprehend that nugget of wisdom would make the whole journey worth it. In 2022, I believe, so I was about 2 years into learning Korean. My brother had a Korean friend who was visiting from abroad and he brought his Korean girlfriend to come with him, but she didn't speak any English at all. I mean, unless my brother's friend or her boyfriend was translating for her, she would be left out of the conversation completely. And my brother was like, hey, Emma, you know a little bit of Korean. Why don't you come along for a little bit? So I came along. And with my broken Korean, very, very poorly put together sentences, I was even speaking in 반말. I was able to entertain her for that evening, and she felt so much more welcome here in Vietnam. And I think that probably changed her perspective a lot about her experience here in Vietnam. And she felt more included in whatever was going on. If that is the extent with which my Korean will ever be used for, that was worth it for me. My main point is, if you trust your intuition and it's clear enough, I would highly recommend that you listen to your intuition because it will tell you what is meant for you in the long run. I mean, regardless of the outcome of the language, whether or not you actually reach fluency in a language, as long as you enjoyed the process, as long as you found value in the process, would also have been worth it. And if you followed through with all of this logic and you're still stuck, you still don't know which language you want to study first, then to that, I would say, rather than getting stuck in analysis paralysis, just pick one and do it. Do it as if this was meant to be your language. No half-assery, just go at it full throttle. Because according to the laws of maths, half-assery takes double the time. This may or may not be the language that you will fall in love with, but even without knowing that, you have to give it a full, solid chance. With the resources that you have, with the time that you have on hand, do it as if it is the language. Should it be the right language for you, you will feel the enjoyment in the process. But say that isn't the case, that this language is not for you, then congratulations. You can happily move on to the next without having any regrets, without being stuck in the land of what if I had learned this language. You can just skip that purgatory, bid this language farewell, and peacefully move on to the next. At the end of the day, remember that you have the ability to learn anything that you want. It is not a matter of ability. It is a matter of how much you existentially need it and how much you want it. But know that the ability is there for you whenever you want to access it. I mean, I've done my share of going at a language lukewarm, and what that has done is drag the process out so much longer than it needed to be. I think it was last year, this time. Geez, it's been a year already. Anyways, this time last year, I decided to apply to Korean language school. And that had been something that I had wanted since 2020. So that had been 4 years of wanting to do this. But as soon as I started getting on with the paperwork, I got discouraged pretty quickly. I knew that I had done like harder things in my life, but me getting discouraged by this process was not a testament to my determination or to my willpower. It was just more so like when I started getting in on the action, I quickly felt that this wasn't for me. And that was why I felt quickly demotivated. I think 3 weeks into paperwork process, I quit. And I do not regret quitting. Honestly, looking back, I'm very happy with the way that life has turned out in the year following that decision to quit. Yeah, this year I got to go to tailoring academy to learn intensively how to sew and tailor and design clothes, and I would not trade that for anything. And also, I was here to enjoy our National Day at the beginning of September totally would not trade that for anything. And if you haven't watched that vlog, I would highly recommend that you check it out. Right over there. I guess like there are things that I can conceptually think about and know whether it is right or not for me. But for decisions that are bigger or is more of a dilemma to me, I actually need to get in on the action to know how I feel about it and to make a decision. So with this mindset, I have decided that with everything that I do, language or otherwise, or career or hobby or responsibility, whichever it is that I have to do, I have to go at it 100%. And the more focused I can be, the sooner I will be able to reap whatever value it is that I needed from this process. And if this process is something I don't need, I will also quickly realize that and move on to the next. So about that Korean language school thing, one thing I do regret is not getting into the application process sooner. And then I would have not spent 4 years thinking, what if? But it took that 4 years of thinking what if for me to really understand this lesson. So I guess everything plays out for a reason. Let's say you've decided which language it is you want to study and you have no idea where to start. Well, the good news is the answers to everything that you may ever want or need, even stuff you don't even know that you want and need, are available on the internet. And it is a matter of knowing the right questions to ask. So how do we go about doing that? Let's say you're looking to learn, I don't know, Russian, and you're in the state of, I don't know where to start with learning Russian. You could change that statement into a question. How do I start learning Russian? Take that question, plug into YouTube or Google, and it will show you how you can begin, either with like learning the alphabet, learning the handwriting, learning some basic grammar and conjugations. And if you think to yourself, I don't know what the Russian alphabet is, what is the Russian alphabet? The answers are all out there, really, either on the internet or in someone that you want to talk to. But the art is in asking the right questions. Just change the statements of how you feel into questions. That's it. So to recap this process, if you're in a dilemma between 2 languages, first of all, congratulations. At least this is something you can have an active choice in. Write down your reasons why you want to learn either of these languages. Weigh out the reasons, which one means more to you, which one sparks you more joy, which one is more interesting to you, and choose that one because that will be the fuel that helps you stay consistent throughout your learning process. Follow your intuition if you can. It probably understands the big picture more than your mind can. And this is for people whose intuition is a strong suit, and if not, you can just pick a language and go at it full force. And through the process of immersing yourself in this learning, you'll quickly be able to feel how you feel towards this language and whether you want to carry on or not. Know when is the right time to quit. That is also a very important skill set to have. If you're debating between 2 languages, I hope that this logic is able to give you at least some sense of direction of where to begin to make your decision. So yeah, let me know which are the 2 languages you're thinking about down in the comments below. If you have been able to pick one, let me know which one it is and why. This could be really great anecdotes, little stories to tell that could help other people out in the comment section as well. Thank you for watching this video all the way until the end. I appreciate it very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.